Good morning and welcome to Today in LA, and I'll go ahead and put it on to remind you that, hey, these are the rules and the regs outside of your home. Once you leave those premises, you need to go into a public place. You need to have your face mask on, and also make sure you're paying attention to the laws and regulations of this COVID-19 outbreak, and it's here as strong as ever. Hopefully that you're doing well this morning on a 12th day of November, and we're moving right along. Hey, we're just right around the corner from Thanksgiving. Everything is just piling in on us quickly, and hoping everybody is doing the right things and staying close to home and staying away from big crowds and wearing your face mask. I'm seeing more and more that I'm bad about sometimes getting out of my truck and walking halfway to the post office and say, oh gosh, I failed to put my mask on. And most of the times it's because I see everybody else with a mask on. So it is very important. And once you start taking it for granted, that's when it's going to bite you. It's going to get up and it's going to bite you. And I hate to use those kind of words, but that is the way it's happening now. I promise you. It is not an easy-going situation right here. In fact, I'll give you a little stat this morning. In the state of Texas, now this is one state, of course, they're the first state to go over 1 million cases. The state of Texas has had over 100 million cases, excuse me, over 1 million cases of the virus. And then the death rate for the United States of America is 240,000. That'll tell you how many people have died from this terrible virus. And hopefully they'll find a cure. Russia claims it's found a cure, and we don't want to accept it evidently. But hey, I don't care if China comes up with it. If they got something that'll cure this thing. We've got a call coming in. Good morning, you on Today in LA. How you doing?
Hey, morning. How are you?
How do you hear us this morning? Pretty loud and clear?
Yeah, you sound good to me.
Great. And of course, Mike Amos calling in from Great Beach, Florida. What kind of weather do you have down there? It's sort of rainy up here.
It's actually pretty down here today. It's supposed to be sunny and I think high around 80. The cold front, I think, finally is going to come through a little bit later tonight. So finally can get back down to the low 60s. We've been about 82 and 72. It seems like forever down here. So.
Do your children wear the mask to school?
No, they don't wear masks to school, and the teachers don't wear masks either.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. It must be pretty good. Our kids have been back to school since August, and we've had no issues. August 10th. So
you don't feel? But do you ever see any children with masks on?
We have masks when we go to restaurants, and if we're ever going inside anywhere. But other than that, no. I don't see a whole lot of masks down here.
Yeah.
We don't live in the real world. We live in a tourist mecca on 30A, where I think people come to escape from masks, and that's why I'm sure the cases will probably skyrocket down here after Thanksgiving weekend. I think every single account I've had down here, I'm a wine rep, and every single one of them are thinking it's going to be a record-setting Thanksgiving weekend. There's going to be so many people down here.
Of course, that's not this weekend, but next weekend, or vice versa? Hello?
Technically start. Next weekend it will start.
Next weekend. This coming next weekend or the next?
The next weekend, the 21st weekend, everybody will start coming down here.
Well, it should be a nice weekend for it, hopefully. And
everybody comes down for like a week. Thanksgiving's a real popular time to be down here.
Yeah. Well, Mike Amos calling in from Great Beach, Florida today, and You know, one thing, and I won't say it again. If you ever been through all of this love bug stuff, I don't know what they actually officially call those bugs this time of year. But Mike, we haven't seen them at all up here. Have you seen them down there? Have you seen the love bugs down there? We can't hear you, man. Hello. So right now we can't hear him, but one of the things that is good, if there's anything at all good about this virus, it looks like it did away with the love bugs. We got a call coming back in here. Sorry we missed you then. How you doing?
Yeah, we got some kind of phone issue. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you this about the love bugs. Do you see any down there?
No, I do not see love bugs, but no.
Well, you know how bad it was, though. Usually in September and October, and we're into November now, and we don't see them anywhere.
We have these big black deer flies that have really been bad, that sting you and bite you nonstop down here.
Are they real prevalent? I mean, are they by the hundreds and thousands?
They've been prevalent for the last couple of months. It's been really bad down here, especially when you're on the beach. The wind blows a certain way, you can't even lay out on the beach. They just attack you.
Well, that's sad. Did it hurt the children?
I mean, it definitely hurts them when it bites them. But I mean, the thing is, it's like it's really because we're surrounded by these state parks down here with all these woods and swamps and lakes.
Can you spray the children and they'll stay away? Will bug sprays work?
No, spray doesn't do anything for the flies. You can't control the flies.
Well, what are you gonna do? Just stay inside?
Well, I mean, you can be outside. It's just you gotta basically make sure you try to get them off your legs. They attack me left and right down here.
Yeah.
So, they never say about the flies. They never say about the flies when you move down to Florida. It's pretty crazy. You have a yellow fly season, which is a really, really painful bite. You actually have, some ways to kind of prevent those. Putting fabric softener in your pocket. And they put fabric softener on your legs and stuff like that. That kind of helps. But these deer flies have been horrible this year. They're usually already gone by, I'd say, September, but they've stuck around this year. A lot of people say it's due to the hurricanes. Hurricanes bring a lot of flies and a lot of gnats. So.
Well, is there still some bad weather coming your way, or what's the deal on the weather?
No, it's going to Jacksonville. It's going to the east of us. We're good.
I want to mention the Southeast Alabama Gas District has been a strong supporter of our show for a long time. Craig and all the great people over in Andalusia, the home base over there, and of course numerous numbers of gas offices around Central and South Alabama. I tell you what, I cook with it and I heat with it and cool with it. I love gas. Of course, I want to remind you that we've still got a lot of football left, even though we've had several to cancel out. Alabama and LSU is a no-show and probably will be for the whole season. What do you think, Mike? Hello? We'll get him back on here in a minute. Well, it shows that we've got him on. All right, Mike, what is your feeling about the no-shows, Alabama and LSU? They're not going to play.
You hear the computer better?
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah.
I can barely hear you now.
Really, you can't hear me?
What's going on with the phone?
All right, here we go. We're fine. We're working on it and make sure that we get it done. We hear you fine.
Orgeron has come out and says that he wants to play Alabama, that it's a huge game, and it wants his fan base to act like they didn't try to get out of it. But Orgeron didn't do the right things when it comes to COVID. I mean, it's one of those type of things. He's already got a horrible season going on. They're 2-3. They just got blown out by Auburn. Obviously, these players are not doing the right thing for our social distancing. They're not staying in a bubble. They're going out to parties. They're going out and being around other people, which the University of Alabama is not. They're doing all the right things because they're going to try to win a national championship. So that's the way you're going to run into all these programs are, not having the seasons they plan on having and don't have as much to play for. And there's no way they can play that game because Alabama it's going to be an SEC championship game on the 19th, hopefully against Florida. And then LSU already had a makeup due to COVID already. They got to play against Florida on the 12th.
So Alabama and LSU looks like a no-show for the season, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's just no way you can play that game. The only way you can play that game is you would basically say, hey, tell Kentucky next week, you know, can you find another team to play and Alabama schedule LSU?
That would be it. And somebody could make a bunch of money that way, I would think.
Well, I mean, you know, they totally, LSU, I mean, I'm sure the commissioner and everybody's furious at LSU and their program. You know, that was a prime time 5 o'clock kick after the Masters on CBS. You can only imagine what that rating was going to be. And Alabama was a 28-point favorite. I mean, Alabama was going to destroy LSU.
Oh, I mean, listen, it's the best thing. Listen, Mike, if you would ask him a month ago, what would be the best thing that could happen to him this year, he said it would probably be not play Alabama.
But then he gives it away. He says, we could you know, we already knew on Tuesday. We already started preparing for Arkansas. We already knew we weren't going to play Alabama, but everybody out in the country was hoping that game was still going to be played.
Yeah.
So here is Orgeron coming out and saying, we totally stopped practicing, you know, for Alabama. We started getting ready for our next game against Arkansas. So just not doing things right at LSU. LSU's got all kinds of issues.
Yeah, they've come a long way from being national champs, haven't they? It really has. Of course, the Masters is going on right now. There's a group out there. The first group is Lucas Glover of the United States, Corey Connors of Canada, and C.T. Pan of Taiwan are the first group out. And just now going out as we speak is Brant Snedeker of the U.S., Charles Howell III of the U.S., and Jazza, some guy from Thailand.
Yeah, I saw that name. That's a hard name to pronounce.
And the 10th hole, the first hole on the 10th hole, already out on the golf course is Sandy Lyle, a former winner from Scotland, Jimmy Walker from the U.S., and Yuxin Lin of China. From another group that's already out on the 10th hole is Webb Simpson. He's a pretty good golfer too, from the U.S. Mark Leishman from the U.S. and Australia's Hideki Matsuyama of Japan. And those are groups that are already out.
Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, Matsuyama, your favorite golfer, is that right?
He actually is pretty good. You know, I wanted to mention breaking news yesterday, which is great for Troy. ESPNU was the original television where you're going to be able to watch the Troy Coastal game, and now ESPN has now changed it from ESPNU to ESPN2.
Oh boy, that's everybody in the country. That's every bar in the country wants that, Mike.
Yeah, so that's big news for that big game against Coastal.
Well, now let me ask you a very personal question. Are they going to still play at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
That to me would be a breaking news that's going to help Troy. I still just don't go in for 11 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, 11 o'clock kick, and now on ESPN2, which is the whole country, and
that's great.
Yeah, I listened to Chip Lindsey's press conference, and he didn't rule out the fact that he was going to get every single one of his quarterbacks ready. So do you see Parker McNeil make his debut? Do you see the Tool kid out of Georgia make his debut? Like he did not know if he was going to play Gunnar Watson due to his health. He said that Watson was going to have to prove that he could handle everything in practice this week with no issues. So I don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
I'll tell you who they need to be out there is one that can be that can run and throw. That they need a quarterback that can get out of trouble. Because this bunch can rush you. This bunch leads I want to say they lead the nation in sacks.
Yeah, I think they're going to be shocked when you see how big their defensive front is.
They say that they've got a defensive end that they use the wording, and of course everybody does, when one man can't block him. They say it's going to take 2 and maybe 3 men to block this guy. He's that good.
94. He looks like DeMarcus Ware. I mean, it really is crazy to see him. But then they got a nose guard that's 6'4", 335. I think he wears like number 15 or
bless my buddy's heart. Bless my buddy's heart, Mike.
And then they got another defensive end that's like 6'4", 2.
Wait a minute! Don't look. Call them up and tell them that we're not going to play. We got too many people out.
Well,
I'm being silly, but let me tell you this: their front is that good.
Yeah, it makes you scared. It's kind of similar to a BYU situation, and Troy couldn't even physically block BYU. It was so bad.
We haven't talked much about them, but let me tell you this: if BYU can beat the blue, can go to the blue field and beat that bunch like they did, they can play with anybody. Anybody.
Well, Boise, I think, lost 2 quarterbacks, so you got to look at it that way as well. I think Boise plays tonight against Colorado State, but Boise definitely had 5 or 6 guys out from COVID issues as well. That's the thing. You don't have any clue when teams take the field now how many guys are going to be out from COVID. None of that is released. It's just an extreme situation in football this year. You don't ever know if starters are going to be out or backups are going to be out. Who knew when Mississippi State played Vanderbilt the other day, they only had 53 scholarship players.
Yeah.
53. And they still won the game, so credit to Mike Leach.
Yeah, you're right. He needed something good to happen, didn't he?
You look at Troy, and as far as I know, Troy hadn't had a lot of COVID issues. As far as we know, it seems like they've been pretty healthy all year with the cases and not having players to have to sit out. The biggest issue is the tracing issues, though, where you have literally any guy that was around, like Auburn's got 10 positive players right now, 10 cases, which is a lot. So can you imagine how many other players and coaches were around those 10 guys? And then you got to keep those guys out as well. So Auburn could have an issue for next week as well.
That's right. It's rough. I'm thumbing the pages to see.
I don't know what happened to me on Zoom. I'm off camera, I guess, but I wanted to say I hope everybody had a great Veterans Day yesterday, and thank everybody that served our country and still serves our country.
I think it came at a very good time. Most of the time I don't like those middle of the week vacations, but I thought I would think that a breath of fresh air, is good for everybody.
It wasn't easy for us, taking our 2 little ones out of school on a Wednesday. It was not easy for my wife and I to, I guess, try to spend the morning and spend the afternoon and then still try to do some work. But I don't think I've ever experienced a holiday, a school being out situation on a Wednesday that I can ever remember.
That's right.
Usually it's either Monday or a Friday.
I haven't been keeping up. They had 3 football games last night and 3 on Tuesday nights. I don't know the scores of any of them. Do you know?
Yeah, I can pull them all up.
Yeah.
You're talking about the MAC games?
Yeah, the MAC games. Of course, we've got Auburn's got a young player that is wants to be traded. Won't they just go ahead and use those words? They want to be. They're talking about entering the transfer portal, but why don't we just use the real words for he wants to be traded? Reserve Auburn linebacker Josh Marsh has entered the transfer portal. A source confirmed this today in the Montgomery Advertiser. The sophomore was one of 3 Tigers defenders who opted of playing out in the 2020 season due to the COVID-19 virus, and also along with linebacker Chandler Wooten and defensive back Trayvon Leonard. The former 3-star recruit from Decatur was mostly reserved through the last 2 years with the program, and he had 3 tackles overall and forced a fumble in his career. So, not a player of substance, but 3 players have left Auburn's camp. And if I wasn't playing, if I could see the light on the wall, I might want to transfer too. I think every kid wants to go somewhere where he'll play. He probably needs to go to Jacksonville State or North Alabama, somebody like that, where he knows he can play, you know.
Well, there might be a Chip Lindsey relationship, for him to come to Troy. Richard Juvenor, number 9, defensive end, outside linebackers, had a good season from Troy.
I was wondering how he's done. Yeah.
The MAC games on Tuesday night. Ohio beat Akron 24-0.
Wait a minute. Let's see. Ohio beat Akron 24-0. All right.
Kent State beat Bowling Green 62-24.
That's Kent State. Kent State beat Bowling Green.
The best team in the MAC, they say, is Buffalo, and they beat Miami, Ohio 42-10. Buffalo, who Troy played and beat in a bowl game.
And beat Miami, Ohio. Beat our buddy, didn't he?
No, Solich is out of Ohio.
Oh, okay. But then Miami, you're talking about Miami of Ohio, aren't you?
Yeah, Miami of Ohio. Buffalo, when that was Troy's last bowl game under Neil Brown.
I remember that.
I went to that game. Sawyer Smith was the MVP. Hard to forget that Sawyer. Sometimes you forget that Sawyer Smith was pretty good down the stretch. For 375 yards in that game.
Yeah, you're right. He went to Kentucky and
now he's assistant Kentucky as the third, fourth-string quarterback.
Well, see, he's not their type quarterback. They want a runner at quarterback at Kentucky now.
Yeah, I'd be interested to ask Chip Lindsey if Sawyer Smith. I wonder if he would have stayed at Troy. Sat out. As the backup to Barker last year, and would have sat out. He would have had 1 year left. I wonder if he would have been the starter this year over Gunnar Watson.
Yeah.
He had a lot of experience. Ball State back and beat Eastern Michigan 38-31, and then Western Michigan beat Toledo 41-38. And then last night, Jim McElwain, the former Alabama offense coordinator and head coach of Florida, blew out Northern Illinois 40-10.
He's got a pretty good team then. Northern Illinois is down.
That's your MAC game.
And people, I'm sure there are people out there that said, Mike, what are you doing even talking about that bunch? Well, let me just say this. They're Division 1A college football. Jacksonville State, North Alabama, and people like that are Division 1AA. And you take a team like Valdosta State, who is solid all the time, they're just Division 2. Why does Jacksonville State and North Alabama and especially Valdosta State, why in the world does Valdosta State stay Division 2 when they've got all those players?
I have no idea. We've talked about that before.
But they might not have all those players if they weren't Division 2, though. Is that right?
Yeah. Why does Chattanooga, one of the greatest up-and-coming tech towns and one of the cooler towns to live in the Southeast, why does that program stay 1AA in football? They got a 30,000 seat stadium right in the middle of downtown.
They sure do.
They're ready to become Division 1 in a heartbeat.
Exactly right.
Need to mention this. The postponements are plenty. The SEC is basically going to be looked at this weekend as what is going on, because you got Georgia, Missouri now postponed. That game will not be played. You've got Texas A&M and Tennessee postponed. That game will not be played due to COVID issues. Auburn, Mississippi State will be postponed. And then Alabama and LSU will be postponed as well. So you'll have 8 teams not playing this weekend in the SEC.
Boy. We're going to take a short break. Our show is brought to you by Cinco Drugs on the corner in downtown Troy. And, of course, our good friends at Cinco and Charles Cinco been there a long time. We appreciate him, as we do the Withington Group. Remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. See Perry Green at the Withington Group, and some Troy Regional Medical Center located on the bypass in Troy, one of the strong local hospitals in Alabama. We appreciate them very much. We'll be back after this.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson Satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson Satisfaction is real.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Back to our show on Today in L.A., coming to you by Facebook across the country, across the world. And ladies and gentlemen, on the line right now is a very dear friend of mine, Johnny Williams, former Troy Athletic Director, former Associate Athletic Director at the University of Alabama, and is the director of the Camellia Bowl and director of a brand new bowl coming to Montgomery, Alabama. And everybody's excited, Johnny.
Unusual times, so yeah, we've got a lot of things happening around football, to say the least, haven't we?
I know it, and for something like this to happen, it does put a smile on a lot of people's faces that the city of Montgomery, Alabama will not just have one bowl game, but they will have two bowl games if the Lord's willing.
That's correct. We're starting it's called the Montgomery Bowl, be December 23rd. 6 o'clock, be televised on ESPN2, and the game was originally scheduled to be played in Boston at the Fenway Stadium, Fenway Park, it's called the Fenway Bowl.
Yeah, sure.
It was not able to be worked out there and decided not to launch in the city of Boston this year. And ESPN reached out to us since they own our game, the Camellia Bowl, which we've had this is the 7th year of the Camellia Bowl in Montgomery, and they needed a place to play that game because we needed spots to put teams for bowls. We've lost several bowl games already that are announced they're not going to play this year. The Hawaii Bowl, the Bahama Bowl, the Holiday Bowl in San Francisco, the Red Box Bowl in the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, Red Box Bowl in San Francisco. It looks like possibly the New Mexico Bowl won't happen, so Las Vegas Bowl. So there's been a lot of bowls. It's because of local policies are not going to be able to play the game. So it worked out good though for Montgomery. We've already hosted early in the year the August FCS kickoff game, so we've already had a game. It put a social distance in place, and all the city of Montgomery did an excellent job with that. So we're just really excited about having a chance to host this game. Here in Montgomery.
Now, what is the actual date now? Is this Christmas Day?
No, this is Montgomery Bowl will be December 23rd.
23rd on
23rd at 6 o'clock. And then the Camellia Bowl this year will be played at 1:30 on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day, 1:30. Man, you can go up and eat turkey with Johnny Williams at the bowl game, Camellia Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. What happened? Normally, championship Saturday is the first Saturday of December, and this year it's scheduled to be played December 19th. So that put a lot of pressure on all the bowls. Are still have to be played before January the 11th because of the national championship game. And they reached out and we would be willing to play on Christmas Day, and we ran it by our city officials, people Montgomery. The Blue Gray game was played in Montgomery
for years, yeah.
And the last 25 or so was actually played on Christmas Day, and it got to be quite a tradition this part of the country. So it's a one-time deal, and I think we're really excited about we've got limited crowd participation to get the game anyway. So it's going to be really a made-for-TV event, and to have that kind of exposure.
You're exactly right. Listen, you watch the ratings. The ratings will be higher than anything on the market on Christmas Day, because people want to watch football. And Christmas Day, after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's sort of bored now. They said, well, we've opened gifts, we've ate a great meal, now it's time to watch football.
Yep, you're right. So hopefully people will get a chance to come out to the game. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, Johnny, I remember so well you playing a game on Christmas Day not too long ago. It turned out to be a big success.
2003, the very last.
In Troy, Alabama.
Was played in the new stadium, movie gallery, Veterans Stadium there in Troy. It sure did. It's a great day. And that game ceased to exist after that year. So a little history for people.
Yeah, no question. In fact, the whole Sound of the South Marching Band came up to my neighborhood and ate hot dogs and deer meat and hot chocolate and had a big time before the game the night before.
Is that right?
But Johnny, let me ask you this. Now we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and this is something that's fairly new on the wire, is that Montgomery will host a bowl game on the 23rd day of December. And right now, do we have any conference affiliations, or what's the deal there?
Well, it could actually be any school from the group of 5. So it could be Conference USA, Sun Belt, MAC, Mountain West, American. So that'll be named later. And you're going to also see, Mike, that they start announcing people coming to bowls probably after the first week of December. I know the championships are not till December the 19th, and right now there's actually a bowl scheduled for December the 18th to be played out in Frisco, Texas. So you're going to see, just like it looks as though we're going to have SEC games on the 19th and also have a championship game that day.
Yeah.
So it's a very unusual time. Let's have to use every possible play day to get these games in, so before the national championships launch New Year's Eve and then on January the 11th.
Now, before we get off this subject of the bowl games itself, the Coastal Carolina Bowl now is a new bowl. How does it look? Will they bring it on or what?
Yeah, it's going to be played the 21st of December, the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
The Myrtle Beach Bowl on the 21st of December, excuse me.
December at 2:30 that afternoon, but it'll actually be played in Conway, Arkansas, which is a suburb of Myrtle Beach.
Is that the home of Coastal Carolina?
Carolina, yeah. At their state, got a
beautiful stadium. Yeah, beautiful.
Really nice.
Well, Johnny, how in the world can one Johnny Williams direct the bowl game on the 23rd of December, December 25th, which is Christmas Day, and December 21st, which is also prior to Christmas? So you're looking at the 21st, the 23rd, and Christmas Day. What do you think?
Well, we've got a lot of people, good people working for us. They'll put these games on. It's actually with the not having the ability to do events for the kids. Normally the bowl game, you take the bowling, you do party smart, you spend a lot of social time together, but sad to say this year the bowl games are more just business. They'll come the day before the game, like they do an away game in a stadium, and then it's all business. Get ready to play the game the next day. So it's
let me ask you this. This is something I'm just throwing out because this is what they used to do. Used to be how they sort of paid the players, but these were major bowl games, the Sugar, the Cotton, and people like that. They would actually, the players could actually provide his own transportation to the game, and the school would pay him for that, or would pay him a certain amount for transportation to the game. Do they still do that?
They do. Matter of fact, when my son David played in Alabama, and they played the Sugar Bowl, the team they were able to pay the price of an airplane ticket, the highest priced airplane ticket, which was about $1,100, and they had to meet at the hotel in New Orleans, like a certain day, but you got there on your own, so your kids could drive together. So, no, that's still legal. You can do that. Very few do it. And now with, it just has to be a situation where you're close to the game. You wouldn't trust your kids to fly across country or something. So, but yeah, that has happened in the past. It still happens from time to time.
Yeah. Johnny, something you did that the whole nation watched firsthand was you hosted the first college football game of the 2020 season, and of course, right there in the middle of the virus. And something you mentioned to me not too long after that was phenomenal. Tell us the results of the virus after your first game.
Well, we had no positive tests. Either students, Central Arkansas or our host team, which played in the game, there was no positive test the following week from any of those student athletes who played against each other. So they found. Here's what I think we've learned. We've evolved for the last 6 to 7 months with this virus. It's an airborne disease, and normally if you're outside, it's very difficult to catch it if you're outside. That if you're indoors in a closed area, let's just say you're in your den, and you got it's built for 6 or 7 people sitting around, but all of a sudden you got 15 or 20 people in there, huddled up, breathing, and so it's an airborne disease. So you got to be very careful not to get in a contained area where the air's not moving.
So that could have a huge effect on basketball then, couldn't it, on down the line?
I think you will have a very serious effect on basketball. And the reason, not just because of catching the COVID, but in football, you've got potentially 85 scholarship athletes. So you've got 30 scholarships, players who have to get sick. Because if you drop below 53, then you're not supposed to be able to play a game. But in basketball, you've only got 13 scholarship players. So you lose 2 or 3 guys in basketball, and you're going to have a hard time having enough to play. So it's going to be interesting how that evolves. And now you're starting to see, I think there's like 9 games that were scheduled to be played this weekend are going to be played. Missouri is one of them. Missouri only had 1 guy test positive this week.
Oh, and they're not going to play the game. Who did Missouri supposed to play?
They were supposed to play Georgia.
Oh, now I know the rest of the story. Yeah.
And here's what happened. You've got to do tracing of who's been around that person. So as they started tracing who all he had been with, and had to take a 10-day break, quarantine. That's what's catching these teams is the quarantine to other players. So
I got you.
And it's building up on them.
So it's more involved than most people see, then, isn't it?
A lot more involved. It is.
Yeah.
You've got rules in place that they test the kids every 2 or 3 days. And it's really a sad situation. Yeah. It really is.
Johnny, I know you see this, and of course a lot of things can happen before now and the 21st of December or the 23rd of December or Christmas Day. How do you predict? There's no way to predict, is it?
It's not, and I'm afraid there's going to be some situations at some bowls that some of the teams may not be able to show up and participate. And that's been thought about right now about a lot of bowls. What do you do if your team does not have enough student athletes to play? So just hold on, people. I think there's a lot of still unknown stuff here we've got to deal with.
Well, I know it. And now one of the keys to it all, though, is the title sponsor. But you've got to, it's got to be there for you to have the bowl game, don't you think?
Well, it does have to have a title sponsor financially.
I mean, right now, all 3 of these have title sponsors.
You're not able to sell tickets like you normally do. Most bowls, the most any bowl would have is about 20% participation. So it's just hard to put up a big financial number for.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put you on a hold 1 second, Johnny. I'll be right back. I got a couple more questions. I'll be right back, please. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing? Johnny, I still have you?
You got me.
All right, I'm going to put you. All right, hold. All right, now I lost my other one, so we'll go back to Johnny. Johnny Williams, ladies and gentlemen, the executive director of the Camellia Bowl, the executive director of the new Montgomery Bowl, and is the executive director of the Coastal, what do y'all call that bowl? The Coastal Carolina Bowl?
Alex, I'm not the executive director. I assist with that game. It's Rachel Quigley, a young lady that heads the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Oh, okay, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I'm sorry. Will, what are your one thing about it before we get off of this? Montgomery is just a super town when it comes to this. Y'all got it down pat. Y'all know how to put on a show.
Well, yes, I agree with the City of Montgomery, the park board, Dave McCleary, in charge. They do an excellent job, not just with football, basketball, but the soccer complex, the Amos Farmers Soccer Complex out by AUM. It has upwards between 300,000 and 400,000 people a year go through there and play soccer.
I know it.
Phenomenal. And our location in Montgomery, geographically being the kind of center of Alabama, the center, also the center of the Southeast, get lots of travel ball, whether it's baseball, softball, or girls, or volleyball. And so it's just a great location. And through the years, they've done a great job of investing in facilities. So it's really has made a lot of difference. It's been the last 10 years or so really developing the downtown area, the convention center and the alleyway, and put Biscuits baseball stadium down
Well,
there.
just look, and of course, I know you tie in with our buddy up there at the Capitol complex. He's just made a lot of things happen and opened up a lot of doors, but he's taking advantage of you when you bring in these bowl games. It enhances the hotel population of Montgomery tremendously, doesn't it?
It does. Of course, Montgomery's a great convention town. A lot of meetings, regional meetings, statewide meetings in Montgomery. So,
all right. Well, wait 1 second. I'm gonna bring in Mike Amos real quick. There we go. We got both Mike Amos and Johnny Williams on the phone. Mike, you got Johnny Williams, the executive director of the Montgomery Bowl, the executive director of the Camellia Bowl.
How you doing, Coach?
Good morning, Michael. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Just down here living in paradise, so I can't complain.
Well, I got you. Well, good thing you don't have a hurricane on top of you. They like that in Chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some flooding from Sally, but looks like Ida is going towards Jacksonville. We're not going to be affected. So the weather in Troy is supposed to be really nice for the game on Saturday, Dad. I think the high is 78 and lows in the 50s that night, so it should be perfect football weather.
Well, this Coastal Carolina, would they love to host their own bowl game? What would you think?
Well, I don't know. They're definitely in the mix. They got a tremendous team. I was actually at their game last week when they played South Alabama. And South Alabama's a lot better than they've been, too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, they played they had the ball at 1 yard, 1 foot line, and didn't get a chance to score. So that game actually been like close to what the fans think. But got a great quarterback who was actually a redshirt freshman, and was really surprised. I think got a great running back, good defense, well-coached team. The game has been moved from ESPNU. It's not going to be televised on ESPNU. ESPN yesterday moved to ESPN2.
You talking about the Troy game?
The Troy Coastal game, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. That's huge for Troy, isn't it?
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Coastal's program is pretty unique with the guy from that was I guess a billionaire kind of started their football program, and then had health issues, and then Chadwell came in, I guess as an assistant, and then got moved to the full-time head coach. But that coach, I can't think of his name right now. was big with what was it, Merrick trade? And what was he with? That made all the millions.
He's the chairman and founder of Ameritrade out of Omaha, Nebraska. Very unique. He started out at college as a graduate assistant football coach. I think at one of the schools there in the Northeast, Hofstra, one of them. And I think he had a chance to go to the Wall Street and make a lot of money. And he did that. Once he got his life in a situation where he could do what he wanted to do, he volunteer coached at the University of Nebraska. There was a free coach for them and stayed there several years and got to develop his game as a coach. And then he got a couple of jobs, became head coach in Coastal Carolina. You're correct. And T.A. Ameritrade actually purchased this group of banks in the Carolinas, mainly South Carolina. They're TD banks. And they donated $5 million to Coastal Carolina. So a great program.
That's what I was wondering. Will they be a title sponsor? Will his company be a title sponsor?
Well, no, they're title sponsor of Coastal Carolina. That's what I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. So and they got a great location. You know, Myrtle Beach is one of the top 10 destinations in the country for tourism. I don't know. I know everybody in Alabama thinks about Panama City, but Coastal Carolina, I mean, Myrtle Beach has a huge footprint as far as condos, high-rise hotels, and they have.
They got more golf courses anywhere in the country, don't they?
80 golf courses within 25 miles of Myrtle Beach. Think about it, 80 golf courses.
And I think there's some.
They have 50 non-stop flights throughout the United States to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, that is fabulous.
Hey, they have tremendous.
So it's one of the top towns in the world as far as bringing in industries and people.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, it sure is. So they've got lots of recruits through there. That school was actually a branch of the University of South Carolina, and about 25, 30 years ago broke off, and now they're started their own athletic program, and so they've had a lot of success there. They won the baseball national championship 4 or 5 years ago in Omaha.
Yeah,
they've been to an old friend of ours, is a basketball coach up there, has had great success. Former Cliff Ellis.
Yeah. Johnny, something that's very important, and I want to hear it. Starting on the 21st of December, what will be the time of your game, or do you know it?
21st at 2:30 Eastern time.
2:30 Eastern, so that's a good time. Do you like that time?
It leads into the Monday Night Football game on ESPN. And then Wednesday, December 23rd, you got the Montgomery Bowl from Crafton Bowl. We play at 6 p.m.
Perfect time there. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And then Christmas Day at 1:30 Central Time, you'll have Camellia Bowl, which we anticipate will be a great, heavily competitive game because since it's the only football game that day, the idea is to get a great matchup for that game. And then Saturday the 26th, the next day, guys, there's actually 6 bowl games that day. We're in the 6 bowl games.
That on the 26th, there's 6 bowl games?
26, yeah, 26.
Is that a Saturday?
What is the average score of every Camellia Bowl? Doesn't every Camellia Bowl come down to like a few points? It's been kind of incredible, all the games.
We've had 7 games thus far, and there's been a point margin, I think, of 17 points all games.
Every game.
It's incredible. It really is.
There's been some wonderful games, no question about it.
Well, let me say this. We knew that early on when we started the game and pitted ourselves to Sun Belt versus the MAC. There's so many good football teams. We've had teams we've had 10-win teams in our game. The Appalachians, sometimes. Arkansas State, some schools like that have 8, 9, 10, 11 win seasons. So anyway, been heavily competitive games, and we hope to. And that's what we try to do when you pick teams to go to games. You really try to study how do they match up against each other, and what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, because you want them to you want to have a chance for people to enjoy the game. You don't want a 45-0 game in a bowl game.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. And the fans come in. Let me ask you this. I'm not looking at a calendar. The 23rd falls on what day?
Wednesday.
All right. The 21st falls on
This is on Friday. Monday, so it's a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday. 3 games.
Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. That is wonderful. Now, are you the only game on in town on Christmas Day?
Yes, only game in America.
Whoa! You pulled it off again.
Yeah, only game in America, man. On
Yeah.
ESPN. And then the NBA will be playing that. If anybody cares anything about the NBA, on ABC later that day.
Now, a lot of people might not realize this, but you're actually employed by ESPN. You're one of the guys. Is that right?
Well, my company is.
That's what I'm saying. Your company is ESPN, which
we do turnkey events for ESPN, and we're doing the Myrtle Beach Bowl, the Montgomery Bowl, and the Camellia Bowl for them.
Boy, oh boy! Now that's quite a chore. Hey, you're not going to even see Santa Claus, much less miss him. You're not going to even see him. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I promise you, it'll all work out this year. We're just proud to be playing football.
I know this, my friend.
You got to be excited next week, Johnny. You got your UNA Lions traveling out to Provo to play BYU next week.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it. You know, they played Southern Miss last week. Fairly close game. Was ahead at halftime. So, yeah, you don't have to worry. UNA will be competitive if they move into 1AA here in the next few years. So, I'm proud of the job they're doing.
You know, Dad and I were talking earlier about Valdosta State. Why did Valdosta State never make the jump? I mean, they always had a great program, 2 great high schools in Valdosta. I mean,
well, hold on, let me explain it, Michael. I'll tell you real quick why that's not going to happen. In the state of Alabama, each university has their own board of trustees. They govern their own universities. They decide what's best for their university in their town. In the state of Georgia, you have one board. It's the Board of Regents, the state of Georgia, and they control all universities. And it's controlled by the people in Athens, Georgia, and Atlanta, Georgia Tech and Atlanta. And Georgia do not want these other schools to blow up into something big. You're exactly right. Valdosta, Georgia Southern slipped through it years ago.
I bet they're voting against it. It hurt them bad.
Exactly. So they don't have the best interest academically. And you'll also probably don't realize this, but they just merged the last 5 years a lot of universities together. And a lot of schools no longer exist in Georgia. They merged them up.
Yeah.
So total different. A little bit and so that gives people in Valdosta.
Yeah.
They decided nobody has been able to do that in a long, long time. Kennesaw was able to do it about 15 years ago.
And that's an up-and-coming program right there, Kennesaw, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, they got 30,000 students in the suburbs of Atlanta. You know, they have a really good football team, but they had they need to change the name probably, guys.
You've actually got Mercer too. Mercer's 1AA. A lot of people don't realize that in football.
They don't try to.
They're private schools. They're like Sam. They're church based.
They'll probably try to put together some kind of conference and try to make it a 1A conference if they could. Wouldn't you think?
Well, with the financial problems everybody's having now, you're going to see a lot of things changing.
Well, I know this. You had a lot to do with maybe more than anybody. When Troy moved to Division 1A, you were part from the very beginning. But it was a good time. Everybody always said when Troy went to Division 1A, it was a good time for it. Is that right?
Oh, there's no doubt. We were very fortunate. When we made the move to Troy, we determined we wanted to go to Division 1. There was a set of rules we had to meet. Had to have 7 1A games. We had to have average 17,000 people. Then we got to move up as an independent. Now people have to have a conference to go into. You got to be open arms. Somebody's got to give you the invitation. You have a chance to move up.
Like they did Georgia Southern and like they did Appalachian. They were very, very fortunate, weren't they?
They were. They timing.
Where's Liberty going to go, Johnny? what conference are they going to go? They're going to go into the Sun Belt? Liberty's going to go somewhere.
That's what I was fixing to tell you. Until Liberty came along like 2 years ago and threatened to file a lawsuit against the NCAA. The NCAA just threw their hands up and said, well, go ahead and go. You just have to go as independent, but you got to meet these requirements. So they've been able to pull it off. Liberty has. So they have changed the dynamics a little bit, but the question will be who else will go up. I don't know if they will not, because the money is just a very critical situation for schools right now. Now they have fans. Revenue share is going to really be down the next several years because of this virus.
Yeah. Johnny, it'll be a good time for you to visit Troy, your old school, this week, because you'll be looking at two potential teams that have got a shot at going to one of these three bowls that you're putting together. I would think that they would probably give you red carpet treatment, Johnny.
Well, we are considered it, although it's a great thing about TV, every game's televised, so you can really tell a lot of what's going on from your house.
Johnny, let me ask you another thing.
Well, Johnny, y'all can take any team with any record this year.
That's correct. Yeah, that is correct.
Johnny, let me ask you this. Major college football, like the SEC and Big Ten, whatever, they have lost millions, maybe even billions of dollars. Is that right?
As a grievance thing, you're correct. The sport is still being told. But that's why you saw some schools really push to have some fans, try to get a little bit of revenue. And to get these games played, they want to trigger in their guarantee from the TV contracts. So,
Well, ESPN has done very well, wouldn't you think, especially like to host a game like you do on Christmas Day?
Well, it's really affected ESPN now.
ESPN just laid off 200 people.
Well, they laid off 300, and they got 200 jobs not going to fill. That's 500 people. Yeah, so it's affecting everybody, every level. Even the TV networks, because you've got all of this. We had basketball going on the same time we had football going on. That's not supposed to happen. So it kind of watered down the advertising dollars. You know what I'm saying? So had baseball, had every sport going on at one time. Ice hockey.
Mike.
It was like that TV. The ratings were way down in all the areas. So
Johnny, I'm stunned by something, Johnny. I'm looking around, ladies and gentlemen, at Paul W. Bryant. Look at him right there on your screen. There's Paul W. Bryant. I never realized that I looked just like Paul W. Bryant. These shade chips sure are good. Bill Rice, of course, is from Troy. I saw his mom and daddy at the game Saturday. I look like Paul W. Bryant. I want to look like Paul W. Bryant.
Hey, Johnny, how close do you think early in the season, when Alabama and Auburn and all the SEC teams were talking about having to play an in-state teams, playing, a +1 and, maybe 10 conference games, do you think that we finally would have seen Auburn or Alabama have to play Troy then?
I don't know. That's just something that hadn't happened. As long as it doesn't happen, the more likely it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody wants that to go back to all that great pageantry, and boy, college football is great. I'm sure it just has not been a good time for anybody, but you guys at ESPN are doing the best you can to provide us with at least watching ball games on TV. We didn't have that, we'd really be in trouble, wouldn't we?
I know it. Well, hey, guys, thanks for giving me a call.
Hey, listen, I know it, and let me tell you, I woke you up. Look, I owe you breakfast for next time I see you. I owe you a big steak. Hey, tell me how my friend's business is going over in Tuscaloosa right now.
It seems to be going pretty well. Yeah, talking about shed digs, new potato centers.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, we appreciate Johnny Williams. Thank you so much, my friend, for your time this morning. Thank you. That's Johnny Williams, ladies and gentlemen, and we appreciate him coming on our show. I think I might have hung up everybody. I messed up a little bit. But never did I think that Gary, Coach Bryant, what do you think about the game? Let me open these potato chips first. Let me get these potato chips open. And this Coca-Cola out here. We're having fun today. What an interview. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Williams is one of my close personal friends, and for him to give us about 40 minutes of airtime with his knowledge of good morning, you on Today in L.A. That was a great interview with Johnny Williams.
Yeah, I didn't get to listen to too much of it.
I'm sorry, I messed you up. I messed you up there. I'm sorry. And of course, Mike, I didn't realize I looked so much like Bear Bryant on TV. We're gonna have to advertise more.
I can't see you. I'm on Zoom. I think I looked at you a little bit earlier. I didn't see Bear Bryant.
Well, you're right.
Do we need to take a break? Have you had a break yet?
Well, we haven't lately, and we'll take one now. We brought you about Little Caesar Pizza. Man, that's the best deal in town. The best pizza by far for the money you'll find anywhere is Little Caesar's Pizza. We'll be back.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
By its very nature, doing big things takes resilience and strength. You did the hard part. You did it, and will go farther still. Max is proud to be your champion, removing obstacles that get in your way. We make technology easy, saving and funds access uncomplicated, and provide help when and how you want it. You control your money with expert guidance from Max Credit Union. Smart money made simple.
The more I look.
Now, right now, ladies and gentlemen, back to our show, and I hope everybody's doing well. Mike Amos is talking to us from the beautiful Panama City Beach, or West.
I'm in Great Beach.
Great Beach, and of course,
20 miles from Panama City Beach.
And of course, it is a beautiful place to be from and wake up to every morning. Your kids already gone to school?
They're probably heading out right now. They usually get them there by about 8:20, 8:30, something like that.
Of course, as we mentioned earlier in our show, the Masters golf tournament has been delayed because of rain. And as you look at the map, Mike, Jacksonville, Florida is not too far from Augusta. What do you think, as the bird flies?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the week. They were going to have some rain issues, so hopefully they'll be able to get it in today. But, you're running out of daylight, now. It gets dark at 5 o'clock, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll be able to get everybody in today.
Yeah, exactly right. I want to do something this morning.
I'll say this. It's the only thing that's made me happy to know that the Masters is taking place with LSU and Alabama getting canceled and all these other LSU games. All these other SEC games getting canceled this weekend. It makes it a little bit easier knowing the Masters will be on.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And another thing that's very important, and the way I look at it is very important, is to make sure that everybody is wearing their face masks this morning. And I'm going to decorate old Albee this morning, and here we go. The Auburn Tigers are not going to hit the field because of COVID-19 virus. They'll be on the air again this time next week. Who do they play, Mike?
Next week?
Yeah.
Tennessee.
They play the Tennessee Volunteers in Auburn or in Knoxville?
I believe in Auburn.
Okay, and one more time, ladies and gentlemen, War Eagle. The Auburn Tigers, people are not looking as close as they should look at Auburn, Mike. Auburn's a pretty good football team right now, don't you agree?
Well, I mean, they're playing better. I guess you could say that. Still hard to believe they lost to South Carolina.
Well, and he don't like it. He don't like her.
South Carolina, the leading candidate, they say, for South Carolina, if they get rid of Muschamp, is Hugh Freeze.
Oh, he'd be a good one, no question about it. Big Al is wanting to start a fight, Mike. They're wanting to start a fight this morning. They're butting heads already.
I think Champ's head coaching career will be over if he loses this job because you can't win in Florida, you can't win in South Carolina. I don't see him getting another big-time job.
Well, Big Al's making a little fuss, and so everybody needs to wear your mask now. Wear your mask. Auburn University on the roll, as is the University of Alabama. The good thing about all of this is, the smart thing is, Auburn is wearing their face mask and Alabama's not. So what we need to do is put a face mask on the...
Auburn's got major COVID issues. They got 10 players with COVID right now. Alabama has none.
Oh, really? Is that the reason?
Auburn's bubble is cracking. Apparently, Malzahn and these guys go home and see their families and friends and go out, and they ended up getting the virus, so now they can't play. I feel like every single one of these teams that have the issues are the teams that should have to forfeit. I mean, Alabama shouldn't have to play LSU. Orgeron, and his athletic department, his staff, these players don't care anymore because they're 2-3 or 3-4, whatever they are, and they just have to forfeit that game. Alabama did everything right. LSU did everything wrong. That's what I don't understand.
So
Alabama should get credit as a forfeit against LSU if they don't play the game.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, Alabama is guaranteed, I think, in the SEC championship now. You play Kentucky, Auburn, and Arkansas. At Arkansas, I mean, Arkansas is better, but they don't have the talent to beat Alabama. Auburn's the only team really left that, I mean, I would say Alabama's probably a 90% favorite to beat Auburn, but Auburn's got enough athletes and enough talent to give them a game, I'd say. But other than that, I mean, Alabama should be 9-0 with an off week, maybe a couple weeks off before they play in the SEC championship.
That's right. That's right. I want to take a look at these guys where they're supposed to look. And all of you folks, if you go outside today, you're supposed to look like this. And you're supposed to look like this. Wear your mask. Wear your mask, and I don't care how pretty it looks. Hey, Big Al's got his mask on, and everybody that's out there should have their mask on. If you go to any public place, restaurants, post office, drugstores, schools, wherever you go outside of the area of your home or inside the area of your home, you need to wear your mask, because this is not good times to be in public around a bunch of people, because the spread of this virus is still very, very important that you take it serious.
It's definitely it's the worst it's ever been. 142,000 cases yesterday. 142,000 new cases in the United States of America. So
now, how many actually have died, Mike?
In the summertime, we thought that it was bad when there was like 18 or 20,000 cases a day. So far, you got deaths in the United States of America. You got 247,000.
247,000 people. that right there is enough information for me to want to wear my mask. And I tell you, let me tell you this: you see people without masks, they're being stupid. You see somebody without a mask in public, at a public place, they're stupid, and they're given a chance to have this virus. And we've got to be smart.
The big thing you can't figure out though is like there's so many people that have had the virus and can you get it again? Yeah. That's the big question. I don't know if you can get it again, or if you're once you get it and you're now COVID free, are you immune to it? I don't know how it works.
What is the immune part of it? Well, how does that work?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, once you've had the virus, can you get it again? Does your body, know how to, where you're immune, where you can fight against it? A lot of people are asymptomatic and show no signs, don't even get sick at all. So, I mean, there's all kinds of, people that have the virus and never even knew they had it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my big thing is with, Bill Rice talks about this several times. I think if it affected kids, kids,
yeah, you're right.
Preschool kids and all that. I mean, I think it would be panic like you've never seen before. People would literally be shut-ins and not even go outside, maybe just in their yard. Would not go anywhere except the grocery store. And you would probably be covered up, head to toe, just going into a grocery store. But it's one of those type of things. Unfortunately, people your age, in the 70s and above, are the ones that unfortunately have been, the ones that have died the most.
Yeah.
You don't see too many people, young people affected.
Yeah. Mike, before we get away today, of course, right now we've got about, about 15 more minutes of our show.
You got several more games that are postponed as well. We need to go over.
Yeah, let's go over the college and see what their outlook looks like this week. And I've got.
Of course, everybody in Troy, I guess, will be heading up to Bessemer tomorrow night to the Pike Liberal Arts Bessemer Academy game.
That's a huge game because if Pike Liberal Arts wins that game, they play for the championship here in Troy next weekend. And of course, the top 3 teams play for the championship in Troy on the week of the 19th. Is that right?
Yeah, they play. No, well, actually, they would play next weekend for the state championship.
Next weekend for the state championship. If they can beat a very good team from Bessemer. Bessemer beat Pike early in this year last year. It was actually a practice game, and
it was a jamboree. The first game of the season they played. I think they won 13-7.
Yeah. Let me put you on hold a minute. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, I was going to let you know that game, the AISA championship games, will be held in Crampton Bowl.
Oh, it won't be held in Troy then?
No, I talked to Gene Allen. I had heard it, and I confirmed with him, but it's going to be in Crampton Bowl next Friday.
Well, where will the other 2 games be held?
All of them will be in Montgomery.
Oh, it will not be played in Troy.
It will not be played in Troy.
Should have said something to Johnny Williams about that when I had him on the phone just a while ago. How you doing, my friend?
We're good.
Want you to go if you feel good. We'd love for you to participate in our picket show tomorrow, the Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks picks of the week, right here on our show tomorrow. And of course, you're one of the leaders, so you need to be out there somewhere with this contest. But that does surprise me. I've not seen anything in writing on that, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you got it from a pretty reliable source, didn't you?
Well, I just saw it on their website. It's going to be held in Crampton Bowl. It's on the AISA website.
Yeah. Well, it is located right there where the headquarters is, the Alabama Independent Schools. And it was a good run for Troy for a long time to have that in Troy. It hurts Troy a little bit, though. They must have bid on it somehow, and Montgomery must have got the bid.
Well, it's a good marketing tool for university to have all those schools come in.
Oh, yeah, sure was.
Campus and all.
In fact,
right now I'm reading on their website, it says the championship at Crampton Bowl, Montgomery, November the 20th, 2020. There's no times at this particular time.
yeah. Well, you know, normally in Troy there'd be one game starting at noon, and then there would be another game at 3:30, and then another game at 7:30. Something similar to that.
Right.
And
another big game in Luverne this Friday. You know, Crenshaw will host Sparta, and you know, Crenshaw's coached by Wayne Grant, and Sparta Academy, their head coach is Alton Hudson.
Yeah, who coached at Pike for all those years.
He coached with under Gene Allen for
That's
a long
right.
time, and they were together at Greenville High School. And,
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's really a good coach, no question. The other team in the Class A, of course, Sparta 6-3, Crenshaw 8-3. Abbeville Christians 9-2, playing at Jackson. Jackson is undefeated, 11-0. So that's going to be quite a battle there, probably between Crenshaw Christian and Jackson. I'm going to just make a prediction that that's the two teams in that division. Edgewood out of Wetumpka, 7-3 at Chambers, and Chambers is awfully good. They're 9-1. And then you got Macon East Montgomery, 8-3 at Escambia, and that's Hugh Fountain's team, 9-1. We've seen Hugh Fountain's team every year at this game. Is that right?
Now, they've been in there for quite a while.
And then in the big boy league, Class 3A, and as Forrest Lee just reported, the game's going to be played at Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. This week's games will determine who will be the 3A teams. And here it is: Pike Liberal Arts at Bessemer Academy, and of course Bessemer always good, and Abbeville Christian. All right, so and then they got that knocked off. Morgan's playing at Glenwood, is the other team in that league. So we've got a championship, but it won't be held in Troy. That's big news, Forrest Lee.
All right, here we go, Mike. 1A will play at 12:30 in Montgomery.
Okay.
We'll play at 12 o'clock on Friday, November 20th. That's the Class A game. The AA game will be played at 3:30. And if Pike Liberal advances, they will play at 7 o'clock.
That's right.
Crampton Bowl.
So it'll be good next week. If they can win this week, it'll be good the next week to watch them play for a championship, if that's the way it's going to be.
Yes, so we hope Crenshaw will get to play at noon. So those games are 12, 3:30, and 7.
Now, I will say this, that the team out of Phoenix City beat Pike last time they played them. So it's going to be quite a good game if Pike can get by and win their game.
Right.
You know, Pike can beat Bessemer, and of course Morgan is 8-2, and Glenwood 9-0 are playing on the other bracket. So that's the way it looks. Appreciate it, my friend. How have things been going with you?
I'm fine. I'm working on some pecans and doing a little bit of woodworking.
What are you picking up pecans, or are you cracking pecans, or what are you doing?
Well, my first cousin, one of my cousins brought me a bunch of cracked pecans. I'm going through those. And
You gonna make me a pecan pie? Wait a minute. You gonna make me a pecan pie?
I will. I'll get
I'll take it too. Of course, old Forrest is quite a cook and quite a guy. How's golf down in Brundage right now? It's a beautiful weather to play golf.
Well,
Now I say that I'm inside our studio and I haven't looked out there lately. Is it overcast or is it sunny?
I don't know. I don't go back to work till next Tuesday.
Okay.
But I would work last week, but I'm just doing errands and the weather looks pretty good from what I can see right now. I'm just to get out here.
People just don't realize what a big time college football game we have in Troy, right here in Troy, Alabama, Saturday morning, 11 o'clock kickoff. Is there any change in 11 o'clock? I know now that it's going to be on ESPN2 real good market for Troy to be able to be in that TV market Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. Mark, are you going to the game, Forrest Lee? Are you going to go?
I may be able to go this Saturday because I haven't been able to go because of work, but I'm not working this Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe, we hope everything works out good for you. I was looking at some of these teams. Mike, you still on, aren't you? Mike Amos? I don't know if he's still on or not, but looking at some of these games coming up, you got GW Long playing at Lynette. That's a pretty tough pick there, isn't it? Leroy is playing at Geneva County. GW Long. Well, Mike, you back? Mike Amos. Yeah, all right. I got to bring him in. I'm sorry. I got to go. I missed it. Here we go, right here. All right, we got them both in here now. Mike, did you hear the report that Forrest Lee just gave us? Was the Alabama Independent Schools are going to play their championships in Montgomery at Crampton Bowl. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's definitely disappointing for people in Troy.
Sure
I
is.
hate to hear that.
It is.
What's
But
making them do that? Logistics?
I'm sure they bid on it, and Montgomery just outbid the thing. That's probably what happened. You know, we're going to give the association more money to have it in Montgomery.
Seemed like Johnny Williams would have known about that.
I know it. We didn't ask him. He probably did know.
Does Troy State play next weekend at home?
Troy plays Middle Tennessee State.
That's probably
that's the reason, because you got to have a day to clean the stadium. That's right.
Okay, that's what happened. Yeah.
For 48 hours. That's probably why.
So exactly. So that's big news out of Montgomery this morning, and we're glad to be able to bring that to you. But of course, if they still got to win this weekend and then play for the championship next weekend, hopefully. And Mike, I want to mention, throw out a few these teams though. Leroy is playing at Geneva County. That's those two great running backs playing against each other in this game. GW Long 9-1 at Lynette. Lynette is always good, so that's a big game for GW Long on the road at Lynette. We're just talking about teams that we know. BB Comer is playing at Abbeville. Abbeville's got a real good football team. They're 9-1, and I don't even know who the team was that beat them, but they're pretty darn good, I'll tell you that. And that's just in our part of the country. Trinity, 8-3, playing at Slocum. Slocum has had their best team maybe ever in their history. They are 10-1. Montgomery Academy, oh boy, the rich folks are coming to Pike County, Mike. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yuppie, yuppie, yuppie. It's the yuppies of, I'm making some people mad this morning. I'm talking about Montgomery Academy, 11-0 with their best team maybe in their history. Going up against Pike County Bulldogs. I'm gonna go down there to this. I'm gonna I'm gonna stand in my distance, but I'm gonna try to go to this game. Montgomery Academy 11-0 at Pike County. Brundage 6-3, but it's a good 6-3 team. Would you, if you were the head coach at say Montgomery Academy or say the other one that was into Trinity? Would you want to play Pike County at Pike County? How about you, Forrest? Would you want to play Pike County in this situation?
Pike County.
You would definitely be playing against a bunch of guys that are going to play hard. I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah, that's right. No question about it.
There's no easy way to beat them.
You're exactly right.
Ohio State, Maryland got canceled this weekend. Also, some Sunbelt games have got canceled this weekend as well. So there is not going to be near as many games in college football. Only team playing in the SEC is Arkansas at Florida and Vanderbilt and Kentucky. And then you got South Carolina, Ole Miss. That's it.
Yeah. Where's that South Carolina Ole Miss game going to be?
That game's going to be in Oxford, and Ole Miss is a 11.5.
That's what I'm fitting to say. Ole Miss is going to wear this bunch out. The coach has got his job on the line right there.
You got Law Monroe and Arkansas State has now been canceled. Out of the Sun Belt, you got Memphis and Navy has now been canceled.
Who is Law Monroe playing? Excuse me.
Law Monroe and Arkansas State got canceled.
Okay, I got you.
Law Monroe has already got to make up a game against Troy, so I would imagine this game against Arkansas State won't be played.
Okay, I got you.
You know, Arkansas State is 3-5, and Law Monroe is 0-8.
Oh yeah, you're right. They'll have the conference championship will have presidents over the rest of them. Okay, let's. That's good information.
I don't even know what the biggest game of the week is now. It's kind of hard to find one.
I know it. Well, you got some. I tell you, the biggest one would be. Oh shoot. Wisconsin. That game.
Yeah, I mean, they play Michigan.
Michigan. That would be pretty big, and Wisconsin probably win that game.
Kind of an interesting game because they're coming off that emotional win against Clemson. Notre Dame will travel to Boston College, and Boston College is not horrible.
No, you're right, but they'll. Let me tell you, Notre Dame wear them out, I think. But it is very interesting, and before we can do our picks tomorrow, we got to find out how many of these teams are not going to be playing. That's what I'm finding. But I've got these guys with the mask on, ladies and gentlemen, for you to get the message. Wear your mask. If you're at a high school football game, you know you need to be with your mask. Now, if you're sipping on a cup of coffee or a Coca-Cola, sort of do your mask up like this and drink a little bit and then shut it. Drink a little bit and then shut it. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm being elementary here, but it's the way to act, I promise you.
You got 3 games tonight in the pros. You got the Colts playing against the Titans. That'll be on tonight. You got Colorado State at Boise State.
Wait a minute, the Colts against the Titans, okay.
Colts against the Titans. You got Colorado State against Boise State. Boise State's a 14-point favorite. That game will be on Fox Sports 1. And then you got Florida Atlantic playing Florida International tonight at 6 o'clock.
Did Florida Atlantic win last week, or do you know? Against Kentucky, Western Kentucky.
I don't know.
No, how they came out? How'd they come out last week?
Florida Atlantic is tomorrow night. Colorado State boys are tonight. I don't know. They're 3-1. I can find out that.
Okay, I was just wondering. We were taking a look at them. Looking back at your Class 1A, Mike, high school football, ladies and gentlemen, and here is some information there. Notasulga plays at Sweetwater. That's going to be a heck of a game. McKenzie 8-2 at Linden. Linden 10-0. McKenzie 8-2, one of their great teams ever. Listen to this. Keith 8-2 playing at Brantley 10-0. If you wanted to go see Brantley play, these are just
Florida Atlantic beat Western Kentucky 10-6.
Okay. Also Millry 8-2 at Maplesville. You don't want to have to play them 9-1. In 1A, boy, you got to play the Sweetwater. You got to play the Linden or Brantley or Maplesville. That's a tough league right there, man, I tell you. So good luck to the Bulldogs of Brantley. Looking at Class 2A, we've already mentioned Abbeville playing host to B.B. Comer. B.B. Comer is 9-1. That's about the best team they've ever had.
Yeah, they've never really had good teams.
And, you know, it's considered it's not a city. It's a mill town. That's why they call it. Something similar to that.
You come on, Chicago?
Yeah, B.B. Comer, yeah, but we've already mentioned Op is at Catholic of Montgomery, 8-3 at Catholic. That'd be a good game to go watch. Thomasville 9-1 at T.R. Miller 9-2. Those are all good games in Class 3A. In 4A, let's see here. There's Andalusia. Where is Andalusia Bulldogs? No, they're 5A.
5A.
They're 5A. Andalusia, listen to this.
They play Clay Topple.
Oh boy, you get ready for the trip of your life, ladies and gentlemen. Andalusia 7-3 at Central of Clay 10-1. Mike, tell them you better watch which way you go home, or you could be in disaster. Don't you agree?
Yeah, you better not want to go in for free.
After Charles Henderson won a game up there about 3 or 4 years ago, Mike wanted to go back to Birmingham. And ladies and gentlemen, you've ever been lost, well, it's when you never see even a street light, not even a yard light, not even a car light. You saw it was totally black for about 40 minutes to an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that wasn't Clay Chomple. That was Central Clay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got them mixed up, didn't I? Clay Chomple is where our guy coach is.
Yeah, David Helms' son, Adam Helms, defensive coordinator.
He's a fine young coach too. He's got them 10-1 right now, so that's going to be a good football game. And he knows a lot about Andalusia. We hope you've enjoyed our show. It's been a lot of fun. Steve does such a great job getting us on and off, and good for Forrest Lee to come in and give us some important information. How about it? Let's end this way. Put your mask on. Put your mask on. If you can't put your mask on, don't go anywhere from your house. I can't get the guy going. And the Big Al didn't corporate. There we go. There they go. Crimson Tide of Alabama. Everybody's wearing masks when we go outside, especially outside our homes. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow for Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks picks of the week right here on Troy